Welcome back. It's still Breakfast Extra here, our very first hour. Now, yesterday's local government elections in Rivers State closed one chapter of political turbulence and opened another one. Amid a backdrop of legal wrangling, security showdowns, and bitter rivalry, the polls concluded with the Action People's Party winning 22 out of the 23 council's chairmanship seats. Now, observers from Nigerian Bar Association and also members of IPAC were present. And we're going to be getting to talking about the stats from the elections for yesterday. However, we have our correspondents who are spread across Rivers State, and we have one of them right now, and that's Austin Azu, who will be joining us. Austin, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We want to know exactly where you are. We are aware you are in Ahoda right now. But where exactly are you at the moment, and what is the mood like as we're expecting the results from yesterday?
Good morning. Of course, like you rightly stated, we are at Ahoda West local government area of Rivers State, and currently we are at Ibiama. However, the atmosphere this morning seems to be quite better than that of yesterday, because yesterday there was restriction of vehicular movement and human movement as well. So we didn't have this kind of movement that we are observing on the east-west road, because from the entrance into Rivers State, there was a barricade by police and security agencies to forestall movement into the state, except those on essential duties. So this morning right now, today is Sunday, of course, we have various individuals who are going to their worship centers, and hence we have this movement, and today there's no restriction of movement anymore. So back to what happened yesterday. Yesterday was the D-Day for the local government election, and everybody, those who went to the poll, and those who did not decided to do otherwise. Of course, we are at the market yesterday. We saw how early the traders were displaying their goods and gear, and when we spoke to many of them, they were not quite interested in going into going into their various polling units. They have their own personal reasons and so on and so forth. So we'll begin. We started with going to the polling units. We went to the polling units. We discovered very late arrival of materials, and some of the polling units we went to, we equally observed that the ad hoc staff of RSIEC, and including some political agents, we have more than the ballot papers that were counted on the ballots. So we asked questions, why was it like that? Some of them were saying that people didn't come out, people were coming out in their various numbers and so on and so forth. But interestingly, we saw some individuals, instead of them going to the poll to go and vote yesterday, they were rather engaged in playing games. We caught one on camera who was at the game shop, trying to, according to him, he wanted to hustle and get some money, and he rightly stated that it's better for him to make money than for him to go and vote. And subsequently, we went further to other local government areas where we discovered as well people were just kind of not concerned. Really, they didn't show much concern about the election. So obviously, one can categorically state that there was a low turnout of voters yesterday. But from a consensus we had, from what we observed so far, the election was quite peaceful across the local government areas we visited, and political party agents, they were quite, in agreement to ensure they are able to maintain peace and order. But most of the political parties we saw on the ballot, and those agents we saw, were PDP, APC, Labour Party, and the SDP. Labour Party was just like a low voice, because the young man we spoke to yesterday, blessed Melchizedek, actually confirmed the fact that he has to step down and he has to do whatsoever because of the issues and so on and so forth. So I think that is issue that they need to work out for themselves. But it was a quite moment. It was a quite engaging moment yesterday for the electorates in Rivers State. Of course, they have decided their own grassroots representatives that actually bring down development to their grassroots. So we are looking forward to see the results from each of the local government areas. Few local government areas have announced that already, and waiting for RSIEC to conclude the process whereby all the results from the 23 local government areas will be announced. And that's basically what we observed yesterday, and that's how it has been like the mood this morning in Ibiama, precisely Ahoda West local government area. Everybody is going about their lawful duties already, no restriction of movement. Everywhere seems to be bright. And of course, some of those who contested the election are waiting for the outcome of the election. As RSIEC will announce in a due course. So back to you, Zino.
Well, it's Queen who's actually got the next question. But Queen, go ahead, please.
Austin, you mentioned that in some words they did not have enough materials because they had more people turn out and low materials. How did they resolve that issue for them to vote?
Now, actually what I stated was like the people on the ground, when I mean the RSIEC ad hoc staff, party agents, and security personnel on the polling units, we are more than the ballot papers that were on the ballot box. We took an observation about them, and you can barely see nothing less than 10 ballot papers inside the box, and you have more than 15 persons stationed at the polling units. So it gave us curiosity to question what happened. How come people are not coming out to vote? How come that these ballot boxes have failed? So in that case, they responded by saying that they were still expecting the voters to come to vote. It was around 2:30 p.m. and 3 o'clock yesterday. And some of them actually claimed that they did not arrive on time. So practically because of that, that actually stalled the process. But there were some kind of individuals who actually expressed diverse opinion regarding the process at which the RSIEC conducted ad hoc staff. And prior to the election, we discovered and we saw a large numbers of them, clogging around the RSIEC office at the headquarters, which is in Port Harcourt. And that trickled down to the local government areas, whereby some of these ad hoc staff, they couldn't even find their names. One in question was one of the member of the PWD who complained bitterly how he couldn't find his name on the paper posted on the wall, and there's no way he could actually move to go and see for himself because there was no preparation, there was no provision made for the PWDs. So that actually creates another concerns that RSIEC need to work upon in terms of adequate preparation for any local government elections, so that the people can, be properly informed. RSIEC ad hoc staff be trained. And I asked one of the stakeholders yesterday, the political party agents, precisely at Emoha local government area, Ward 2, Unit 3, and I asked the question, how come that we have a lot of passerby, people who are going about their normal businesses, how come they were not coming to the polling units to come and vote? Now I asked the question, were there no proper sensitization for this exercise? Guess what he replied? That the sensitization came to them, waiting for them to come. They are still begging them to come and vote. And a situation such as this is their civic responsibility for them to go and vote. But it was quite obvious that they were kind of lukewarm attitude towards this election by the electorate compared to what they had in the previous years and compared to what they had in the general election, whereby everyone is so much interested in going to the poll to go and vote. And they made their own points yesterday that even if they vote, there is going to be a one-party system. So, but it's just left for them to decide. But nevertheless, election has come and gone, and the winner will soon be announced. So, obviously, we think the next phase of the election is something that RSIEC need to work on in terms of adequate preparation.
Thank you, Austin. Well, Austin, the papers this morning, we actually heard that there was plenty turnout at the grassroots. So we're wondering whether this is an isolated instance at your own location. We also thought that perhaps the reason why there might have been more people come out to vote at the grassroots this time would be because the people of Rivers State are absolutely tired of what's going on and just wants to have a hold on governance. So please, can you reconcile what we saw on the dailies this morning regarding the turnout and what you are seeing on ground?
Yes, as journalists, we have various, views to what we have seen on the field. I'm currently on the field, and we went around the various polling units, not just the local government areas. And our visuals are there. They can tell the story if what we are saying can be confirmed by what some of the dailies have reported. like I rightly stated, there was a particular polling unit we went to where I keep maintaining that the political party agents, the RSIEC ad hoc staff, are more than the ballot papers on the box. So where are those voters? We ask the question. So if we have massive turnout for the local government election, it means that we are contradicting what some other people are reporting. We spoke to stakeholders yesterday. They equally confirmed to us. One of them is, I don't want to mention his name, but is an appointee to the sole administrator in Rivers State, who equally confirmed to us that yes, there were kind of setbacks regarding the election because one, the low turnout of voters can be attributed to late arrival of materials and inadequate preparation for the election. Of course, some of them said that this election was just put together within 1 week, so that people were not properly, informed. There was no, mass enlightenment and so on and so forth. In terms of mobilization, was equally something that equally created concern. At Ahoda West local government area yesterday, and the materials left the secretariat at about 1:30 p.m. Materials that were supposed to leave the council area before 8 o'clock and get the police station open for election by 8, and all election closes by 3 to 4. They ended up going around 2 to 1, and they returned back very late yesterday. And this is likely what happened to some other local government areas. At the grassroots level, it was almost the same thing. So there was a low turnout of voters, which has been established by these stakeholders we spoke to yesterday.
So, Austin, now from what you've seen regarding the low turnout, what could you attribute this to in your own personal experience? Could it be the election materials not coming through on time? Could it be the voter apathy from the confusion that has been caused because of the drama at Rivers State? Where is that apathy coming from? What's causing it, do you think?
Well, if I had the opportunity of getting one of the respondents, which we spoke to yesterday, to confirm these statements, I believe they will be in a better position to explain it better than what I'm trying to establish here. Now, the voter apathy and other issues that actually create this election is attributed to the fact that the process was not properly organized. And one question is that adequate arrangements were not properly placed. RSIEC ad hoc staff were not properly, dispatched on time, and these are the issues that really contributed to the low turnout of voters. And not only that, too, adequate sensitization of electorate, because if, for instance, you have local government election ongoing and people are going about their lawful duties, particularly those who have shown that they are not going to vote in any of the election, it means that there was no proper enlightenment. And two, the political parties involved, how much do they, enlighten their people, their followers about the election? How many political parties on their own really, came out in their large numbers and said, yes, we are going to vote? So these are the issues that one can actually, point to the fact that there were actually low turnout of voters because they actually contributed. A situation whereby electoral materials are leaving the local governments for hard-to-reach communities, arriving very late, and so on and so forth. It means that there was no adequate preparation for this whole exercise. And we don't want to delve into the issue of logistics. The issue of logistics was actually another concern because we saw large numbers of some of those ad hoc staff just hanging around waiting for some other person to come and pick them. We couldn't get them on camera because at the time we get there, some of them have dispatched because they saw that, yes, we are actually coming. They saw our vehicle and they have to, scatter themselves and so on and so forth. So it's something that, apart from the local government elections in Rivers, it's something that every other state needs to work upon in terms of adequate preparation, in terms of mobilization, in terms of adequate sensitization of electorates, and of course, the political party must be involved in campaign of reaching out to their faithful to ensure that they're able to come out on the day of election. And of course, the police, the security agencies were very civil yesterday. There were no issue of violence in any of the polling units. But however, we saw most of them stationed along the road, and they stationed about a few meters away from the polling units. So they were quite very civil and quite engaging. But the electorates on their own, most of them defied the election based on their personal reasons. And of course, we can say that there was low turnout of voters yesterday. If you compare these results right now, compared to previous results or previous elections held, you agree with me that there's a decline in terms of electorates that came out to vote compared to previous election.
Thank you so much, Austin, for giving us that update. Let's, we'll come back to you at some point during the show. Now let's have a visual of what people were saying yesterday concerning the Rivers State local government election. Let's take a look.
Why didn't you go to vote today? Why you not go vote?
The material have not come down there, the town hall. The place are voting. The material have not come down. They're going to the local government to go and collect materials.
Why you not go vote?
No food to eat after the election.
Okay, so now make you not go vote.
We no go any day where we no come market, no food to eat.
I'm so happy that today is election day, and we are preparing to come to the voting point. But normally some people are busy in their various houses preparing to vote, because everybody knows that today is election day, and no one is expected to move to anywhere like work, except he go to his center to vote. And I'm very grateful that at least we value the day, we give respect to this day. I'm so happy. At least the place is well clean kept for everyone to come in with peace and of good heart. So, nevertheless, I even appreciate people that are here. Time people never come. I believe they are still arranging to come, even if they are not yet here. Maybe they are on their way. Maybe there are some of them on their way coming. Like of me, I am here. Yes, I'm here. That is what I can speak for their behalf. Yes, I believe they're on their way coming. Even if you do not see them now, I believe they're on their way coming. Not that they will not be here, or not that they will not vote.
Then the reason why there is a delay in the election today is because the material are not arrived yet. Then apart from that, the preparation of the election was not already being done before this early morning. We'll be fine. Everything will go well, very well, because I believe there is peace in this area. In terms of election, there is no issue, there is no anything like fighting or misunderstanding in this very particular community in Biama.
I'm the one of the trainee from the RSIEC, but I called it to them. They said they sent my name to the RSIEC from my other West headquarters. Now I've come here to find my name. I did not see my name, and moreover, the place there is a reachable. This in as the place there. I cannot step down, cannot come down and go and watch my name. I send somebody to go and look my name, and the person search everywhere. They don't see my name, so I'm not happy. I'm not happy because the way people are taking us, I don't understand. Because people should treat us well because we be special people. So the special people.
Yeah, we are still waiting for them. And also some persons are around like them. They are waiting to vote. So we're waiting for material to be prepared. They are also preparing setting the place.
Oh, but they said the materials are already around?
Because the presiding officer is around.
Okay.
The polling clerk is also here. So they are trying to set up the place.
Okay.
So we also have some persons around waiting to vote.
Okay. So what's your assessment so far of what has happened here, what has been happening here, when they started, when the materials got here, and what you've heard around your environment?
And everything is going peacefully. I can see some persons are also waiting, willing to vote. They are willing to be around with us. Everything is going well, and it's going.
We arrived around the hour of 7:39 a.m. this morning.
7:39 a.m. this morning. How many electorates is these units catering to?
It's 30, 38.
38.
Yeah.
Okay. Have there been any electorate so far?
No.
No one has come in to vote here.
I believe they'll soon be coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is Ward 9, and the polling unit is Unit 20.
Have elections voting begun yet?
No, not yet. We are just receiving the materials, and as you can see, we're preparing.
Are you running late already?
No. I don't think so. We're just coming in.
Reactions from people yesterday in Rivers State regarding the elections. Some of them saying, hey, we need to eat. I'd rather do that than actually go out voting.
And my
Others
guy
saying,
said
hey,
happy.
he's happy that it's election day.
Yes.
Woohoo, holiday. So those are the different reactions from the streets of Rivers State for yesterday. We are still talking about the LG elections, and as we expect the results, we have our correspondents who are all across Rivers State. From Obio-Akpor local government area, we have Ibalani Amani, who is going to be giving us an update about what is happening there. Ni, good morning. Thank you very much for joining Breakfast Extra this morning. Please do tell us what the situation is like in Obio-Akpor.
I almost felt like I was listening to an ADR as you speak. Anyways, Obio-Akpor is peaceful this morning. Elections are over, and it seems just as it's over, the conversations around it is also over. In fact, everyone has moved on quite quickly, and no one is even talking about it right now. Except at the RSIEC office, of course, where we are expecting an announcement very soon. We were there till around 11:30 yesterday, hoping there will be some sort of declaration, but inside information we got was that the results were still trickling in from various local governments, so that could not hold yesterday. We have our fingers tucked in, hoping to get an information this morning so that we can give you the latest there once they're about to declare the results. And speaking to the environment, it's quite calm. It's Sunday morning, of course. Largely, majority of Port Harcourt people are Christians, and at this time you would expect they will be in church. Hence the low economic activities we see this morning, and the low residential movement we can see as well. But of course, the roads are busy. Vehicular movement is active. We've seen some field police patrol vehicles around, just, checking out the area once in a while. And that's the update I have for you for now. As regards how the mood is after election and what the people are saying, as I said earlier, they really just don't want to talk about it. So, in someone's words, I remember in someone's words, he said, well, they've done what they want to do. So now, let's move on. And I tried quizzing him further to know what that means, what the idea of they've done what they want to do is, but that's his own opinion. Whichever way, election held yesterday, it was covered. We're waiting for the results. That's the update.
Tony, good morning. I wanted to just ask, I know you covered Wike's arrival yesterday at the poll. Can you tell us what the ambience was like when he got there and what he said, or the comments from the citizens? And the comments from the citizens.
Well, obviously, we know the kind of power the Federal Capital Territory Minister has in Rivers State, and of course, a set of people or a group of people or a faction of people or even the people, we can't tell now, love him for who he is. The people who love him for who he is. And just a few minutes before he came, his polling units was actually one of the few I saw that had a lot of people at some point. And just as he came in, everywhere it's like everybody from every other polling unit just came to that particular polling unit. Maybe to see him vote, I wouldn't be able to tell, but they were there to just walk with him, to celebrate him, to welcome him. And he went along, cast his vote. After he cast his vote, he came down, ran some interviews, and just moved into his vehicle. Interacted with some of his community members. We saw, I was able to identify, I can't say for exactly, I think some of his brother, and someone said they saw his father. I can't identify his father, but they said they saw his father as well. So, and he interacted with the community, asking them to reach out to him. In fact, he was telling, oh, you have my phone number, why didn't you call me? And he interacted with them well. So there's nothing else to see there because it's not a political move in a particular way. So I can't say it's related to the election. But what he did yesterday was he exercised his franchise, and that's all there is to it. Does it affect the polls there? No. Did it affect the operations of the workers there or the ad hoc staffs there during the electoral process? No. He came to cast his vote and left, just like every other person that was on the queue that yesterday that came to cast their vote. In fact, we had an 81-year-old, if I'm not mistaken, elder at that same polling unit, and I was so inquisitive to ask him that, why did you decide to come out to vote? You're 81. You're using a walking stick. Why is it important for you to come out? And he said, this is right. So obviously, these people know their rights. They want to exercise their franchise, and they don't want anyone to take that power away from them. And that's why they came out yesterday. And it's not the only elderly person I saw too. A group of younger generations. Why we have some set of younger generations that were that made the streets their interim pitch. There were young people at that particular polling unit as well. Young, old, aged, male, female, out there to cast their votes at that particular polling unit.
I want us to take it away from the elections yesterday. I really am very interested in what Wike is seen as by his own people. So I'm going to delve more into what it was like there when he came yesterday. You said that you mentioned that he actually had certain relationships with people where they were even talking about perhaps maybe calling him or not calling him. What is Wike like when he's in Obio-Akpor? Is he the same FCT minister we're used to seeing, rather brash, very outspoken, sometimes, you know, not to people's advantage? What is he like when he is home?
I'll speak to what I saw yesterday, and that's the fact that once the two riders, because they have two riders that first come in, and once that signals his arrival, then we have the convoy that comes in afterwards. Once we saw that those two riders come in, I don't know where the multitude came out from, I don't know where the people came out from, but I just know that the population at that polling unit just doubled. In fact, I can say tripled. And that could be interpreted in a lot of ways, but we'll keep it at that, as love, as respect, as they want to see him, and a whole lot of things, different people for different reasons. And once he got there, everyone was almost on standby, waiting to see him, waiting to, you know, look at what he's going to do, what he's going to say. As we know, the minister is a very outspoken person, and he doesn't hide it. He speaks. When you ask him, he will tell you his mind. And I would just like to pick some of the comments he made yesterday. Aside the ones he made to his members, friends there, that, oh, they should reach out to him, they should call him. He made comments also about the local government elections and how it relates to the state of emergency and its removal and its suspension of ex-suspended Governor Fubara, noting that now the coast is clear for the state of emergency to be taken away, which means that, oh, now we have, in his own words, a legitimate election where the right people are in place across local government, that is the grassroots politics. Now, the suspended governor can be reinstated, and that means a lot, and that could interpret a lot for a whole lot of people. So yes, he has his fingers, he has his hands, he has his power across a lot of things, and people were there yesterday for different reasons to observe different things. Family, friends, media also was there to pick out soundbite as we did, to hear what he has to say about every single thing. Because as we say, you know, there's also the concern of two parties in APC, two major parties dominated the election, yeah? The APC and the PDP. And there are words, rumors on ground that the APC has another faction, and there are words that, oh, at some point the APC and the PDP have a merger, or they were sponsoring each other's candidacy, and oh, a particular principal has powers in that, and so many other ones. It is a whole lot. We can't keep unraveling it. And I used to say that every time I come to River State, I said River State politics is not 11 plus 11. When you say 11 plus 11, you don't get 22. You get 454. It's totally different. You can't predict it. It's premium politics. It's way beyond any other thing you can see. So I would say the mood was intense. Ultimately, he came in yesterday. A lot of people wanted to see him, and of course, for various reasons.
picture that you paint, because you paint a picture of a person who, well, outwardly people might think is, well, they might not like him, but from his own constituency, you can see the kind of love that he actually gets. Not just that, but the fact that while he is in the APC, he's also getting love from people in the PDP as well. So I can imagine how people would throng to go see him at his unit's vote. But tell me, were you excited to see him? You can tell us.
Mazino, my feelings don't count here, because the truth is my job is to report facts and not truth, and I'm not the story. So my feelings does not matter here. I'm there to do my job. I'm there to give facts of what is happening, of what the reactions of people are. I couldn't even vote, so how can I even give my feelings in the first place? Because I'm on the field working. So there's no way I would have any time to start digging my own emotions and saying, oh, this is how I feel. Practically, when he was talking, I was holding my phone like this to capture sound bites, Mazino. So tell me what feeling I'm having at that point when I'm being squeezed and I'm holding my phone high and my hands were shivering at some point after holding my phone for so long. My emotions then was, God, can this thing just be over? So I think that would be my emotions at that time. I had no particular emotions towards him. I was just there to capture every single thing he said, capture every moment so I can give the right details and updates. And of course, so the News Central people can, and News Central viewers can understand and see what exactly is happening on the field.
Thank you very much for holding your very awkward position all while we're getting all that information. We appreciate it, but I don't care what you think. I think you were excited. You were excited, Nee. Thank you very much, Nee.